Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Digital Blackface. It's your boy Poe here. Welcome to episode 34 of the podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about a very special topic. It's very near and dear to all our hearts. If you've been on Twitter recently, you've heard of femcels. You've seen some femcels. You've definitely probably gotten into a fight with some femcels. Anyway, before we really start, let's just introduce the people here with us. We're missing a couple, but maybe they'll trickle in later. Baku, say hi to the people, please.
Hey, people.
And Skeleton, greet the people.
Hey,
please.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
No problem. So, again, today's big issue is femcels. Does anyone feel like defining what they believe a femcel is?
Saint, you're a male. You should do that.
Do what? I literally just missed that part.
Do you want to define what a femcel is for the people?
Yes. A femcel, as is modern tradition, is a female version of an incel who is an involuntary celibate. Usually, they are very salty.
Oh yeah,
our definition is always that kind.
They are
what?
Look,
I found something when I was researching the femcel community. Apparently, the term femcel has been coined since the 1990s, and there was a woman who
created by a woman. The first femcel, the first incel, was a woman.
The first incel was a woman.
Women came first.
Well, to be fair, women complained about it first.
Yeah, but that's because insert funny sexist joke here.
Like, if you ask Urban Dictionary, they'll be like, a female incel and a woman who hates both men and women while complaining about dumb shit. Femcel, a female involuntary celibate, is a subculture that seems to have spawned from incel culture and have complete abhorrence for each other. A femcel would rather blame both men and women for their lack of relationships and deserted sex life, rather than realizing the cause of this is their lackluster, self-loathing personality. They have no self-awareness and can't fathom the idea of a male liking them for more than looks, when in reality, this is the reason people stay away from them.
Yeah.
I would have to point something out, actually. You mentioned, like, the sexist joke. You say that, but the shit I've seen on their fucking locations, on their little hubs, holy shit, you think the incels are sexist? God damn, they're throwing hands with everyone, and they just hate everyone. Holy shit!
Like, I mean, listen, buddy. I just don't want to get my account suspended because I said something redacted.
That's fair. I don't give a fuck about my account.
Femcels will literally, they will go hard against everyone. Men, women, gay women, trans people, asexuals. They will fight asexual. There was one asexual woman I saw respond to some femcels, like from female dating, like people who subscribe to the female dating strategy on Reddit, and they were like I'm an asexual woman. Like if you hate men so much and feel like most of them are just not valid for your dating standards, why not just not date at all? And then they attacked her. Like, what do you mean? Not like you will get banned from the female dating strategy subreddit if you say, how about you just not date and focus on yourself if you feel like most men just aren't worth it? That will literally be a ban. It will get you an immediate ban.
Yeah. I think what intrigues me the most about the femcel community is that I actually haven't met an ugly femcel before.
I have.
Well, most of the femcels that I personally know are like fairly attractive.
No, honestly, I'm not like, there are some femcels. There are a lot of femcels that I've met. I have met some femcels that are smoking, like complete smoke shows. Like there was this one Muslim femcel. Like I saw her account once, and I was like, God damn! If she didn't want to stab me for being a man because she hates her father and culture so much, like she calls Muslims mud slimes, which I was like, wow, like those are your people. I'm like, yeah, I get that, like you hate your culture, but like, come on, like that's like you don't see me going around calling Africans the S word.
Like, no, but my point was that there was like an interesting stat where there's a huge chunk of really attractive femcels, and that is because they are so attractive. People are kind of like
what?
A lot of like internal confusion for the individual, because they don't really know what they're doing wrong. They think they're doing everything correct. They think they're doing everything by the book, and that's where they start blaming everything and everyone, because they are like self-aware that they are attractive, but like they can't point out what is actually wrong with them, and that creates a lot of like insecurity, and it creates a lot of self-loathing, and they try to kind of get rid of that self-loathing by instead lashing out on other people.
You know what?
And it's the same with the incel community too. You have these men, they think they're doing everything correct. They are confused. They don't know how to deal with the societal expectations of people, and then I don't want to say lash out.
No, they lash out. They definitely.
But they do lash out, and it's like it's not correct. It's not correct to lash out, but there is like it is possible to empathize with both femcels and incels.
Of course, it's possible to empathize with them. Like the thing is though, like empathy only goes so far.
Yeah.
Empathy only goes so far before you're like, I just don't like you. I just don't like you. As like you're terrible. Like okay, no. So, like the chat is talking about like the Muslim femcel. Like I'm gonna tell you, she was very attractive in the face. It's like just like the fact that you hate me kind of adds something to it. Like I'm just gonna like the funny thing is like that would feed into her idea of men only liking women because like they I'm not gonna get into her whole, she had like a whole thesis paper in her pinned, but all I'm gonna say is like, yes, she was hot, yes, she was a femcel, and I was just like, damn, if only. Anyway,
if only you weren't batshit.
Yeah. Oh wait, also guys, before we start, there's something that I wanted to do. So, you guys heard that Christian from jail wrote a letter to the owner of Kiwi Farms, right?
No. Okay, wait. He wrote to the owner of Kiwi Farms?
What?
Yes. He wrote a letter to the owner of Kiwi Farms.
That's fucked up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and?
And in that letter, he compared himself to Jesus.
Yeah, he's being...
Like, he compared himself to Jesus, and he compared the owner of Kiwi Farms to Judas Iscariot. You know, the guy who sold...
Judas Iscariot, oh my god.
He compared the owner of Kiwi Farms to Judas, and himself to Jesus, and I guess that would make, like, Elizabeth Jank, Mary Magdalene, or whatever, I don't know. But yes, he did that. And in fact, before we get further into this femcel discussion, we are going to be reading that letter.
If Chris is Jesus, would it say that woman who like recorded Chris
Isabella Jank, yes.
Wouldn't she be the Judas because she's the one who like betrayed him?
I mean, I don't think Chris has it in him to call a boyfriend-free girl a bad name. So.
Well, yeah, but Jesus in real life wouldn't either.
I mean, Jesus. I feel like Jesus would definitely call someone a bad name because
no. Jesus would be just like, yeah, you fucked up, but God still loves you. But you did fuck up.
Like Jesus whipped people. Like he used whips on people, like on bankers. Like he literally threw people. He threw people out of a temple. Like Judas was like built. He was a carpenter's son. That man lifted all day. Like he lifted his own cross. Like that's real CrossFit right there. Anyway, back to the point. We are going to be reading the.
Oh,
you good? You just fucking
sorry. Someone called Isabella Jank Pontius Pilate. Okay, so we are going to be, before we do anything else, before we talk more about, no, Jesus was a carpenter's son, not Judas. Anyway, before
Judas
we go
was just a
further,
bitch.
I mean, he got silver. Do you know how expensive silver was? Anyway, before we go further into the femcel discussion, we are going to be reading Chris Chan's letter from jail. I feel like we should treat this with the seriousness it deserves. This is basically like reading, I was gonna say Mein Kampf, but I was like, no, Chris Chan's not that bad. Like, this is like reading like the Unabomber's letter or something. No, not even that. He's not that bad. Like Anne Frank's diary? No, that's the opposite direction.
I mean, yeah, I guess a literal motherfucker isn't that bad. As Hitler.
Okay, here we go. Here is Chris Chan's letter from jail. I will start.
Oh no.
Don't make me lose my focus. Shut up, okay? Don't make me lose my focus. I got this, okay. I have September 19th, 2021, page 1. I have finally received fresh paper and envelopes, and I feel it advised to inform you of the following. All of which, as you may or will... What? All of which, as you may or will, you have my consent to relay all of the content of this letter to Joshua Null Moon, as well as forward the physical document to David Heilberg, my attorney.
Okay, now we know his attorney name.
Okay,
yeah, that's not a good move.
The following everyone should hear and appreciate sincerely, authentic and spiritually and aura deep. Okay, now we're getting crazy. I also swear direct truth with my left hand over my heart as I write this sentence. Firstly and vitally, it should be made obvious and clear that aside from Andy Warhol, my life...
Oh, good fucking god.
He is very self-important.
Oh shit.
I mean Andy Warhol is a shit artist too, so I guess it makes sense.
Okay. Firstly and vitally, it should be made obvious and clear that aside from Andy Warhol, my life events at present and so far can directly be compared and matched with that which have been chronicled of none other than Jesus Christ of Nazareth himself in any Holy Bible.
Oh my fucking god.
He went right from Andy Warhol to Jesus Christ.
Jesus and fucking... Okay.
I love this
man. He went right from Andy Warhol to Jesus Christ. I don't think anyone has ever compared those two together, let alone to themselves.
What? The Andy Warhol thing makes sense because someone did write a book about Chris Chan where he wrote a lot of similarities between him and Andy Warhol.
Okay, but did Andy Warhol fuck his mother?
I mean, no, but they're both artists that are kind of known for plagiarizing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, did Andy Warhol really plagiarize so much as just like straight up just put things on
I mean, I disagree with the plagiarism criticism, but that was the criticism he got at the time.
Okay, listen, okay.
Yeah.
Also, feel free to take any unaltered original photograph of my body's face, as opposed to anyone else's body's face? Of my body's face, neck and shoulders / chest area where I was not wearing the glasses. Then alter the photo to show a naturally growing brown beard, mustache, and sideburns. I thought you were trans, Chris. Now place that photo next to any image of Jesus on or off the cross.
God.
Compare, look deep into my eyes, and photograph. See for yourself. I meditate and connect directly and genuinely with the cosmos, both of our universe halves, and throughout the timelines of the entire multiverse. So despite some lack of physical evidence, I know the ultimate truths, facts, and details, not commonly known or written, drawn or chronicled. That being stated, all of my life, my mind, eyes, and literally held the constant perception of being the central camera number 000 out of all of... Okay, well, this is just getting very, very crazy. Like, we went
this
from...
schizo thread.
This is literally a schizo thread. We went from very, very in weirdly deep into central camera number 000. Like, I don't even know what that means.
You know
Okay,
what? Reading like schizo posting on Twitter is one thing, but when you read it from a physical letter that was sent from jail, it's a whole
That just
ass vibe,
hurts.
and it's kind of sad in a way.
like I'm gonna have to edit this. I'm gonna have to edit this. But this clip by itself is going to be clipped and put on YouTube. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
The other cameras, infinite from the first person perspective of all others. And this goes even deeper. And I encourage you to meditate deeply and see for yourself this and all of the truths. And the reason and truth behind my unique perception is direct and mind-blowingly simple. I am literally the real player one, the one avatar. And this body, eyes, mind, and all is the one God body. And I am literally also Jesus Christ, literally. I am literally also Jesus Christ himself, fully reincarnated and fully reawakened. Even the dimension merge, literally completed and concluding the same for the collective shift. All of this is literally huge chunks of the past, present, and in progress events. Wait, what do you think present means other than in progress? Not the point. Of my second coming, period. Not all details of the past chronicled scripture writings are accurate, and as a member of the council of gods and goddesses with the strongest and direct of connections, I know details have changed, some to a lot, in regard to the scriptures of the past. This Christian is amazing. He is just the self-confidence this man has. Like, this person has. It is just amazing. I
mean, there's a word for it. Delusional.
Look. Okay,
he's delusional.
How much would you pay? So. How much would you pay to like be inside Chris's mind for a minute?
No, that's like no, I wouldn't pay for that. I feel like that's a punishment. I feel
like how much would they have to pay you?
You have that.
How much would they have to pay you?
If I can afford rent for the rest of my life, I'll be super fucking happy, but even that, I won't do that. No. I feel like it's like going into an eldritch horror. Like, you look at it, and it's something that you can't truly comprehend, and you become permanently insane.
Okay, let's finish this up. Okay. 3 days on Earth equals 4 months with 24-hour days/nights in the heaven realm. So yes, this is the one immortal body, and that was none other than I, off and on that cross over 2,000 years ago in my past life, personally.
Oh my fuck.
And then he drew a little cross with like lightning bolts and a heart on it.
Yeah, it's his cutie mark on his pony character.
Wait, is he a brony? Is Christian a brony? Is that a thing?
He's a brony. He's a brony.
Each and every power and praise to Jesus. As of February 1982, at least all have been directed to this body and soul. Malachi 3. Judgment Day is nearing. Know this well. Praise. So... Oh, also, do you want to know something really funny?
Yeah.
Like, apparently the warden had to approve this letter before it left. The warden had to read this letter. The warden of the prison Chris is in read this letter.
I'll be honest, he probably thought it was weird, but didn't like make a huge deal out of it because he probably read Roars.
You know what? That's a good point.
Sadly, he probably.
But no, imagine some 50-something-year-old white guy just reading this and being like, okay.
I honestly wish that was my job. I wouldn't want to be a warden, but I just want to read these kind of like schizo letters. I want to approve these.
I think it would drive me crazy. Like,
because
I'm not gonna say
I am
that
a person who really loves despair. Yeah, but
this is the most insane thing ever. Like, I'm not gonna say that, but like, just I knew Chris had like issues, but this is like a new level, don't you think?
Honestly, I've been I've been paying attention to Chris Lore since I was actually a fucking kid. Like I was a child when I started paying attention to these entire ordeal. And though this current situation is really fucking insane,
Yeah.
looking in hindsight, it makes sense that it would eventually lead to this. In hindsight, it makes sense that he would eventually become super fucking delusional and overly confident and and just hurting himself and other people. And it's sad. It's funny. I love despair, but it's really fucking sad. It's a Greek tragedy.
I mean,
It's a
wait.
Greek comedy,
First of all, no, you can't call it a Greek tragedy because Greek
He fucked
tragedy is
his
like,
mom.
listen,
He fucked his
listen,
mom.
He literally
listen,
did
you-
do full
listen,
sex.
listen, but you can't call it a Greek tragedy because for it to be a Greek tragedy, there has to be a high point. And
Yeah,
I don't
there
think
was.
I don't
He
think you
won
can call you can't. No, I knew you were gonna say that, but you cannot call it. You cannot peak at 8 years old and call that a high point.
if you're autistic, then yeah, it is pretty much a high point.
Like
It's
you
all
can't-
about perspective.
if you peak at 8 years old, your life is not a tragedy. It is a try not to laugh compilation.
Oh my
You know what?
God.
He technically peaked. He was the happiest during high school because then that was the time where he had his gal pals, and it was basically just a bunch of like these women who felt so bad for Chris that they like hung out with him because his father paid them.
His father paid them?
He paid them
Jesus
to have. He
Christ.
paid people to be friends with Chris because he was so socially awkward. Like they even came to his 18th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah. So with all the build up, yeah. No, Chris Chan's life is a Greek tragedy.
Oh my god.
It's a modern
wow.
one.
A modern Greek tragedy. Yeah. I did not
Yeah.
expect. I did not know
It's-
that about Chris. That is.
No, it's really sad. I think the saddest part about this entire thing is nothing. It has nothing to do with him, but it's the fact that I and a lot of people know more about Christian than we know about our own like family history. I know more Chris lore than I do my fucking family tree.
Okay, so look. Okay,
Jesus
one
Christ.
second. 1 second. Before we circle back to female dating strategy, all I want to say is that okay, one of these days we are gonna actually have to go back and do a deep dive into Christory because there is a lot that I do not know.
Okay, then you have to invite me because I will spurn about
Okay,
it for
this is-
fucking hours.
Okay, this is
Finally, my time has come.
cynical cortex in the chat. He said skeleton. He said I wouldn't call having paid fake friends count as peaking in high school. Oh,
I mean,
also,
he didn't know that though.
sure he didn't know that,
He
but
didn't
also,
know that.
you know, what's her name? Speaking of femcels, Isabella Jank. She was a
Oh,
femcel.
Yeah,
Ah, yes.
she was a.
She
She
was
got really
quite
fucking
literally a
angry.
femcel.
Yeah, she got really fucking angry when women she liked didn't like her back, and she was
I mean-
really scummy.
Like she was also like I think she wanted to date Chris on a certain level because she got really mad or like just livid when like that other girl was like trying to date Chris.
Yeah, and the entire reason why is because she's literally a narcissist, and she saw that as a threat of her ability to control Chris. Because if someone else dates Chris, then she doesn't have the the first row to take control.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so
Like
apparently a lot of the cast does not know about Isabella Jank. So we will do another podcast on Isabella Jank, but
Oh, good
not
God.
today. Not today, okay? Not today. We have to get back into the femcel topic, okay? So, the issue on femcels. The
Yes.
first femcel, the first femcel, like the original femcel, like the Avatar one of femcels. That's a Legend of Korra reference. I don't know why I made that. Just please ignore that from in future. The first femcel was a woman named Loretta. What was it? Loretta something? Well, whatever. She was a weirdo. And she made a whole blog complaining about the fact that guys didn't date her. You know, the things women do. Um, sorry, I'm just I, I, I laughed at my own joke. I'm sorry. Like, but
No,
that's
that's
like, am I wrong? Is that not a very female thing to do? To make a blog
uh
about why guys won't date you?
I mean, here, listen, it's not. I don't think complaining about a
She
gender-specific issue is a
she was
gender-specific thing.
she was the first one. She created incels as a group. She gave them an identity.
Yeah. You know what? I don't understand how these like left-leaning newsletters shit on, normal normal. I don't want to say normal incels because that's not, accurate. But like the male incel community when the literal first known online community of incels were originally women. There were probably like male groups as well.
I mean, yeah, but she was the
But
first one who like made a
she was
blog and made it an identity, you know?
Yeah. The officially worst femcel is probably Amanda Jenkins or Isabella Jenkins. Yeah.
Isabella Jank. But like, so basically, like way back in like 2018, like the middle of 2018, um, there was like this article in like the Metro UK talking about so-called femcels. They don't even believe femcels exist. They call them so-called are women who claim to be angry that they can't find a long-term relationship. A mirror image of incels, men who are incredibly angry that they can't find sex.
Yeah.
And basically, um, a lot of guys don't believe femcels are a real thing. So the reason men don't believe femcels are a thing is because they think that it's just that their standards are too high. They believe femcels are volcels, voluntary celibates.
Yeah. Even though that's not necessarily the case, because then we can like go back to the femcels who are like so attractive where it makes other people intimidated by them, and because of that no one wants to approach them,
And also the
and
very unattractive ones.
and the very unattractive ones.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about people who have like mental illnesses that makes it harder for them to socialize because fun fact, women too can also have neurological mental issues such as autism.
Well, of course, yeah.
And if you're if you have problems socializing with people and you have problems picking up social cues, of course you're going to be struggling navigating around our society.
Yes, of course, because we live in one.
God damn it, Poe.
Like I saw one guy quote retweet that he didn't believe that femcels exist.
No, look, honestly, every time femcels are mentioned, there will always be at least 1 to 3 people, no matter how small the tweet is. Like, oh, those aren't a thing. But like the thing is, like men understand it differently. Femcels don't want sex necessarily. They want a relationship, someone to love them. So that's where a lot of guys have a disconnect. Like, oh, you can get sex anytime. There'll be a guy who gladly do, but they don't want that. They want an actual relationship. So femcels aren't really femcels. They're more lonely women, very lonely women, chronically lonely, terminally lonely women. If incels are the common cold, femcels have cancer.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, that's about right.
That is an analogy.
It's morbid, but it's right.
Like an incel has a cold that never goes away. A femcel has cancer that just gets worse and worse until she dies alone.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think a lot of I think the sad thing about femcels is that they are really desperate to have these relationships, and they're really desperate. And you know what? It's completely fine to want to have the goal of, being in a safe relationship where you're taken care of and you marry and you live pretty like stable. Uh, but like with some people, they feel like it's like the only way they can fit in,
which is
Mhm.
just fucking wrong.
Okay, so okay,
and
I found
it's kind of outdated in a sense because sometimes it's like marriage isn't for everyone.
of
It
course.
really
And I
ain't.
think a lot of femcels have a hard time realizing that, and maybe that is just not something they need. It's like it's perhaps something that they want. That's completely fine, but it's not something they need.
So basically, incels are alone, femcells are lonely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and
basically, I just pulled up the article that I had before.
mhm.
So in 1993, the first incel was actually a Canadian woman named Alana.
Yeah,
Yes. So she created a whole website to just okay. So she wasn't about like romance. Hers was about dating. Like she couldn't was not having sex, and that was why she created a website titled Alana's Involuntary Celibacy Project. And it is literally the place of origin for the term incel.
yeah.
So
She is the she's the engineer. She's the originator.
Alana is a pretty femcel sounding name, TBH.
It is.
It does kind of sound like a kind of a femcel name. Like that sounds like a lonely girl. Okay, anyway. So basically this article says the majority of media attention the incel community attracts focuses on cis men who are deeply angry about their lack of attention from women. However, a small subset of the incel community are cis women who describe themselves as femcels. I like that they said cis and not straight because there are plenty of lesbians who are femcels.
Yeah, there are plenty of lesbian femcels, and they're especially bitter when women they are interested in are either straight or just not interested back if
Like
they are gay.
they're like why do you like men? They're terrible. I'm like, I mean, I guess we kind of are, but like, what are we gonna do? Anyway, also, many femcels define themselves as unable to find a romantic or sexual partner, and they think
Mhm.
that they're the ultimate victims of lookism, discrimination based on the physical appearance of a person. Look, I look like a midget version of Michael Clark Duncan, and I have
Hey,
dated.
he admitted it.
Like, I never said I wasn't, but like literally, I've dated since. To be honest, I've been dating since I was 5.
What?
What's your excuse?
I mean, that's the thing. No one really knows what the excuse is, and we can go back to the entire like insecurity debate. Uh, if you don't have the answers, it's easier to become insecure, and it's then easier to like
Like,
point fingers at red herrings that isn't actually the cause of your problems.
personally, incels, fems. You know what? That's also a good point. There's definitely a disproportionate amount of transgender incels, but we'll get back to that later. I think ultimately the biggest problem with incels and femcels both is they lack both confidence and self-contentment.
Exactly.
They're not
It's
happy with themselves, and they're also not confident enough about themselves as a person. They may act like it, but inside they're lacking something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm like trying to say is that they I mean the in a way the weird in a really weird way they are somewhat of a victim. You can still be like a shitty victim. That is possible.
Yes,
Because there's a lot of pressure. I mean, it's not so much today compared to before when it comes to like dating where but a lot of people have this skewed idea that the only way you can actually be happy with yourself is that if you're in a happy relationship. But
true.
the sad reality is that when or if rather they do end up in a relationship, they're going to have
They
such a
ruin it.
hard
They
time
ruin it.
realizing that just because that not being in a relationship isn't good enough. You won't be happy by simply being in a relationship. The only way you can be happy is that you have to work on yourself and you have to figure out what makes you happy without having to, involve other people.
Exactly.
Absolutely. To make
So
it easier for those who can't really piece that together, it's called Get Good.
get good. Literally. Okay.
Good.
So basically the article goes on. It says the group has been criticized for being misogynistic, transphobic, and narcissistic. Also,
Mhm.
they do not they despise gay men. Like themselves just hate gay men. Like it's beautiful to watch. And also it's just beautiful to witness how much they hate gay men because oh, you like you hate women because we won't sleep with you. Like, first of all, I like dick. And then like, oh, what do you mean? Remember when Panda was fighting them? Remember when Panda was fighting them? And they were like, you just hate women because we won't sleep with you. Like, first of all, I'm on Grindr. If I wanted to, I could find someone to suck my dick in 5 minutes.
Same, yeah.
And
Like it's not that hard.
and then they got so mad. They got so mad at Panda. Just they attacked that man for hours. Like it was beautiful. Just like a horde of femcels. Just
It's golden.
Yeah,
like
and okay, yeah. So shitty victim.
yeah.
You can be a victim of society yet be a shitty fucking person. You guys have watched Trailer Park Boys, right?
Oh yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
heard? And you guys are familiar with the shit rope analogy?
No.
Okay, so what? Like, you try to hold on to this shit rope, but it's so covered in shit that you keep,
It keeps
sliding.
slipping.
You
Yeah.
keep slipping because your hands are covered in slimy fucking shit, and that's what the femcel and incel community does.
They're
At
sliding
least,
deeper and
at
deeper
least
in
the
this shit.
extreme, at least the extreme parts of it, because it's completely okay and it's completely normal to have a little echo chamber where you can feel, quote
There's a
unquote,
certain point.
safe. But to a certain point, you're just gonna end up in despair.
Mhm.
And then at that point the anger you have towards other people are not justified, and that's a good example when it comes to these gay men being attacked by themselves.
Okay, like before we talk about like the femcel specifically, there's one like a lot of femcels just feel that they're very unattractive, and they literally talk about it all the time and feel like uh that's the reason why they can't succeed because Stacy's and all that are stealing all the good guys.
Fucking.
But however, there is another group of femcels. I call the like I don't know if they're the majority or what, but they're
Oh
like
my goodness.
they're like the bitter ones. They create more femcels.
You call those cat
They
ladies.
they don't actually. It's like they just everything about them is just designed to chase away like 99% of men, and like the men they're looking for are not in the 1% that will put up with them.
Holy
You know
shit,
what I
the
mean?
previous fucking
You
tweet.
actually,
Yeah.
that's actually funny you mentioned that. I was looking through the a very certain subreddit. I don't usually like Reddit. I fucking hate the place, but for this I made the exception. And I found something that very specifically lines up with that. I'm gonna send it over to you, Post, so you can give it a read.
Oh, what could this be? Oh golly gee, what could I see?
Would you like to read the title?
Title. Let's see. Female female dating strategy. It disgusts me to see how men are dressed in public. Oh my god, I gotta put this up. I gotta put this up on so people can see that
I
this
will
is
also give it to
hilarious.
you.
This is freaking hilarious. I gotta put this up right now. Jesus Christ. I am laughing right now. Okay, guys, you're about to see it. This article is hilarious. Oh my god, it is beautiful. So basically, it starts off, we're on the female dating strategy subreddit. For those of you who don't know what female dating strategy is, they're basically a subreddit exclusively for women who focus on effective dating strategies for women who want to take control of their dating lives. You know how like the red pill is for men to like get them more confident, learn how to look better and how to talk to women, and it's focused exclusively on sex. and like the red pill generally works if that's what you're going for. Like female dating strategies does not work. It literally
This is not like that.
makes
Let's put it
makes
this way.
women
This
worse
is-
at dating.
This is the how do I put this? This is a radicalization of femcels.
Yeah, it is literally it is
The black pill,
it is
if you
the
will.
the black pill. It is hilarious how bad these women are at dating. Just the advice they give is like designed to make women suffer. Like, oh, okay.
That's for after.
Okay, it still did not pop up. 1 second. Why is it taking so long to pop up? Here we go. I found it. Okay, good. Okay, so basically we're on the female dating strategy subreddit, and all their advice, let me just be honest with you, is terrible. It is all terrible advice. If you take the advice of these women, you will never date. Any date you go on will be terrible and will make you suffer.
Awesome. You know what? I barely went through this. I have never heard about female dating strategies. I was familiar with femcels, of course, but I've never seen this subreddit before. I've never seen the term even. So I'm really intrigued to see what type of advice I will be given as a woman who in this scenario struggles.
You're about to regret even coming here.
Here we go. Female dating strategy. Scrotation report. Also, yeah, by the way, they call men scrotes or moids. Scrotes meaning like scrotum, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So unfortunately in the United States, I don't know about elsewhere, men trying to look presentable is interpreted as being gay. Well, my casual observation about men in the stores I go to is that they mostly look like their hair has not been washed in over 2 weeks, let alone combed. There is an incongruity between the type of tops they wear and the type of bottoms they wear. For example, they may have a sweatshirt or hoodie, but they could be wearing shorts or pants that look like pajamas, and they literally look stinky from a distance. Stinky. Dirty looking shoes and socks, unkempt facial hair, lackluster complexion, and needless to say, inherently unattractive faces. Okay, take off your makeup and compare. I just want to say that. Like, yeah, sure, if guys wore makeup, they would like I've seen makeup on guys, and they like every celebrity male you see in a movie or TV show, makeup.
Yeah. Makeup just make people, more attractive. So
I might add that the men may have one of the things above or all at once. They truly look putrid in every part of their body, their face, their facial hair, their clothes, etc. I do not consider myself a prize, but I try not to look dirty. I look basic, khakis, polo shirt, sneakers that I try to keep clean looking, tidy ponytail, presentable lipstick, cute glasses. It's my style. That's not much of a style. And I actually want to improve my looks a little. But when I think of doing that, I see the unbecoming men out there, and I think, for what? First of all, what type of men are you seeing that look like their hair has not been washed in over 2 weeks?
I was going to ask, is this like an American thing? Because I take public transportation every day.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I take public transportation every day, and that's like the places where you'd think you see a lot of nasty people. But most men on the buses that I take look, fairly presentable to where they're going. Like they are nicely dressed. So is this like
the door?
Baku, have you seen men without hair that looks like she's describing men as looking like Snape from Harry Potter?
Anyone who looks like Snape from Harry Potter is either old or has no idea what the fuck they're doing in the fashion sense.
Like hair that has not been washed in over 2 weeks and not even combed. That doesn't.
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk? Like
I'm joking.
Okay.
Shout out to Tony Hawk though. He's a fucking legend.
Tony Hawk is amazing, and I will never accept any slander towards him. But I don't notice. Like maybe it's because I'm not looking. But like I feel like that she already has such a bad opinion of men that she's just seeing.
She's getting confirmation bias.
Rose-colored glasses, yeah.
Yeah, it's confirmation bias. She saw 2 men coincidentally that look like shit, and then she has to skew the idea that this applies to everyone.
Now, just
Yeah,
to piss her
'cause-
off, I will have
And
to
that's
say
the shit
goodbye.
rope. That is the shit rope again.
Yeah.
Just to piss her off, I will have to say goodbye because I'm going to go on a date.
Oh damn.
Oh
Really?
damn!
Ain't that funny?
Oh, that sucks, Valko.
Mid pause. Cast
Just-
you.
Okay.
I'll stop. Yeah, I'm going on a date.
All
Okay,
right.
let's
Well,
see.
congrats for not being an incel.
Okay.
There's several people in chat who can attest to that.
Okay.
Proud of you.
Okay. Let me
Love you
see
guys. Thanks for having me
one
on here.
second. Skelly, hold on for 1 second. Let me see if I can get one more person to join us.
Awesome.
Okay.
Their cultures
Anybody want to join the podcast real quick?
to movie form, but
hello,
but they also struggle with trying to keep a child healthy. I'm ranting right now.
I get shit ready. Welcome back.
Ah man, I was going to hijack
Okay.
your shit.
So, yeah. Everybody else is busy, so it's just gonna be the two of us. Skelly, just
That
a
is
very
There's one person who-
A-okay.
That's
You
the
get a
difference.
female's
That's the difference.
perspective.
yeah, it's a very intimate podcast today. So let me see the comments. I see
Well,
so many couples.
well, comments. I think we should praise Sephiroth for not being an incel. So,
Yes, we should, yes,
woo,
very.
going on a date.
He's fighting.
Congrats.
He's fighting against. He's fighting against the
he's
incel
helping the
scourge.
he's helping the femcel community by dating them.
Yes.
Go
Let's see.
team.
Listen, this is literally classic female dating strategy. I see so many couples when I'm out where the woman is dressed beautifully and the man looks like he rolled out of bed. Almost every date I've ever been on.
For
I
me,
feel
it's
like-
vice versa.
Like, I feel like when you're saying almost every date I've ever been on, that is on you who was picking those guys to date in the first place, right?
I mean, I see so many. She's basically almost every date I've been on. Well, yeah, that's on her, I guess.
Yeah, it's
I think it's a fair standard to want your date to look nice.
exactly. And like the thing is, you're not just meeting these guys nowhere. You've seen them before, so that means you had to have seen them in the first place to go on a date with them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, weirdly enough, sometimes it's been the case where I'm the person who's like lacely dressed compared to my date. So I feel like a fucking hypocrite.
Okay, like let's see.
Just
Hamburger
reading
Fries
this.
08. Hamburger Fries 8 said, I get upset at the women who choose them. And in this subreddit, they often get upset at women for dating men that
Yeah,
they feel. So I get upset at the women who choose them, even though I'm focusing my grievance in this thread against the men.
Yeah, let me just place my insecurities on these women who never hurt me in any type of way.
Yeah.
Man, dude, you know what? I wish incels and femcels would just like date each other at this point, because it's not the exact same arguments, but it's the same formula of their bitterness, where they just take something that is not necessarily doesn't really correlate with their issue and makes a huge ass fucking deal out of it.
You're exactly right. Also, real quick, do you see this one right here? I just have not seen a single man I'm attracted to for more than a year. Maybe you're not all that attracted to men. Just if it's been
Could
a
be.
year, if it's been over a year and you haven't seen a single man you think is attractive at all, that
I
What
think
is that?
that's more so, you know what, this could also, okay, I don't want to sit here and be like a armchair psychologist, but if I'm gonna make assumptions, there could be like a lot of reasons why this person feel the way that they do. It could be that, well, yeah, maybe they're actually not, straight. That's like a reasonable assessment. But if you rely too much on other people to make you happy, of course you're gonna lose interest, because if
Exactly.
you feel like that type of like happiness that person gives you kind of disappear, you're gonna get bored of it.
Mhm.
Like straight up, you're if you're not happy with yourself, then how the fuck are you gonna expect other people to make you happy? No, what happens is that you rush into a relationship and you become bored because it actually didn't, like, you know,
Work out.
satisfy
It didn't do
your
anything for you.
needs.
Yeah.
Nope.
Also, right here, it's impossible for me to date any of the men my eyes come across. I ask myself, do I have a mental disorder or something? Well, at least she's asking the right questions. Also, what did their partner see in them? Again, I have to say, if you are not attracted to any men you see at all, and yet you think you're into men or want to date men, why are you on a subreddit? Like, if you're not attracted to men, why do you want to date them at all?
Well, yeah, you know, societal expectations, yada yada yada. I
Like,
don't
no,
I don't want to
this
jump to
whole-
conclusions. Yeah.
This whole subreddit is going against societal expectations. Like, they're like, all the societal expectations for, like, they try and go against it, but yet they still stick to this, even though they clearly do not like men.
Yeah. You know, like I said, dating isn't for everyone, and sometimes it's, you know, it stings to hear that, but maybe these women would be happier if they just figure that maybe their own company is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, you said something very interesting earlier about, like, the difference between like incels and femcels. Something about, like, incels are lonely while femcels feel lonely. I don't know if that's, like, the I'm just paraphrasing.
Yeah, incels
and
are alone, femcels are lonely.
Yeah, and it my theory, I actually read a bit about it, like, a lot of men, like incels, are bitter because they don't get, like, you know, sexual interaction, and a lot of women are angry because they don't feel like they are able to have a romantic relationship, and, you know, and they blame some things like lookism. And a lot of people think very black and white when it comes to that issue, where they say that, well, since these two things, you know, since these two things are seemingly completely opposite problems, they are not equally as, you know, important issues, because everyone wants to feel validated and everyone wants to, you know, feel loved, and that's a completely normal feeling. And I think it's because with men, like, it's no big, like, secret that women are overly sexualized. Women have been overly sexualized in the media for years, for like decades, for like hundreds of years, and that's a problem. And men are under sexualized, and that is also a problem.
Like, yeah, they don't assume that there's this thing, there was this test, like, this feminist researcher did. She on Bumble, she opened by when she was, like, looking through the men, she opened by sending them a pic of her vagina, and she thought, oh, this is gonna disgust them, this is gonna make them understand what it feels like to get an unwanted dick pic. And instead, they were, like, so happy, so eager. They were like, she thinks I'm hot, she thinks I'm attractive, so she opened in the most direct way possible. And then she was like, and apparently she did not expect to think that men would not think they were attractive.
And that opens a lot of, it gives a lot of answers, and it gives, like, a lot of, like, questions, because these men have never experienced that type of attention before, while women are overly exposed to that.
Yes.
And it's sad. I honestly feel like men should be you know, like, when a man gets complimented, it's always on, you know,
something
skill or what they have achieved. But the moment where they get complimented for, you know, for their appearance, that is a memory that will, like, stick with them for a long ass time.
It's literally a meme. men that one comment they received 10 years ago. That one
Yeah.
compliment they received 10 years ago. Oh my god, look, it's the same woman again who said like all her dates have been like that. She said, I remember all the times you got dressed to the nines only to be brought to dates where it's your buddy's house, it's your date's buddy's house to watch them play Xbox and smoke weed. And I've been there 79 different times. Again, these are the men you're choosing. You are choosing these men. Like, I don't know what average man would consider that a date.
This is why. Is this like the type of shit that is really common on female dating strategy?
Yes, they will talk about the things they do wrong and then be like, it's the men's fault. Like, you chose those men every single time.
Yeah, because what I'm like, this is like my first exposure to the subreddit, and what I've basically come up with is that these women don't respect themselves. They don't. They
No. They respect themselves. No, how to put this? They respect themselves.
Apparently not.
No, like they respect themselves, but they don't see like a lot of times they'll talk about men who are like, oh, like every man I've dated has crusty underwear or has shit marks on his underwear. Or I'm like, first of all, why are you dating all of these men that are doing that?
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you choose these type of men, you obviously don't know how to have standards, and that is a confidence thing. Like, false confidence is still, false confidence. You can delude yourself all that you want that you're like confident. But if you choose these type of men where you're allowed to have standards, you're allowed to be attracted to like people who have good hygiene.
Yeah, of course.
If you choose these type of men, then you're so desperate that you choose the bottom of the barrel type of people, while at the same time still manage to keep up this double standard. It's interesting. There's a lot of nuances when it comes to this subreddit, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm. Like, you see this one right here.
Very contradictory statements here.
No, like constantly they'll talk like right here, they'll be like, how's that working out for them? They end up single and alone like they deserve because no woman wants to put up with them. And the funny thing is, like, a lot of these women, like, they say things like, oh, like men who have like super high standards for women will end up single and alone. And yet the entire point of the thread is super high standards for men.
Yeah. I mean,
like they talk about things like, oh, you need to find a high value man, but like there's no such thing as a low value woman. Apparently all women are inherently high value for being women.
Yeah, exactly. That is absolutely, it's the rules for thee, not for me type of ordeal.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna go through the list of that the OP posted.
Listen,
your hair has not been washed.
Oh, listen, I wish men still dressed as they did in the first half of the 20th century. What happened?
Yeah.
They conditioned women to lower their standards and accept less than the bare minimum. First of all, those men in the 20th century, they didn't dress for you, women. They dressed for themselves.
I just wish people would just have a Sigma energy. I think everyone would just be happier if people started dressing for themselves and not other people.
Like, can you believe the implication that a man would put on a top hat and a cravat and a monocle for a woman's pleasure? That is for him. He knows he looks good. Do you know how often I've wanted a monocle since I was 5 years old?
You can get one.
I mean, it would look weird. I can't wear a kimono, sneakers, and a monocle. I'm like, just three different cultures at once.
Like, I don't know, who gives a dress for yourself? It's the Sigma mindset. These women complain about these like crusty looking men. Like, I'm using like quotation marks here, but these men are obviously really comfortable, and they obviously
Listen. This one replied to like, remember the one that was like, oh, why don't men dress like they used to? He was like, probably their idea of revenge for women becoming more independent. You see, like,
yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Like their mindsets don't make sense. Like even other like forums where women talk, they will talk about a female dating strategy and be like, yeah, they're crazy and toxic.
Hold on. We should browse this subreddit by flares.
Okay, by flares. Let's see. Let me go up and let's see some flares. Let's see some flares. Oh, also, fun fact. You see where it says 193,000 queens leveling up?
Oh my fucking
Most of those are men just reading the subreddit.
That is us.
Yeah, because like
hi chat.
Their Twitter, like they have a Twitter and like they get almost no interaction on their tweets. They'll post something and get like 2 likes, and I'm like, you have almost 200,000 people on your subreddit. How are you not getting any? How is nobody liking or commenting or retweeting on your posts? You think that's odd a little bit?
That is kind of susibaka, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, let's see.
Let's see. Okay, I feel like the Gnosis would be a funny one because it's probably posts that blame other women.
Wait, which one?
For their issues. Gnosis.
Oh, Gnosis. Yeah, that definitely. Let's see it.
It's Seymour.
Oh, I gotta go back real quick.
Yeah. Like bad. This is the cringe bad take flare.
Let's see. Gnosis. Okay. Wait, it's not.
Oh, you
It's not going anywhere. Let me go to the front page and try it. 1 second.
Yeah, you have to go to the front page to do it.
I don't use Twitter much. Oh my god, look. Look, they're talking about how what's it called? Elon and Grimes are taking are separating. And they're like, I think we can all guess how this went down. Elon must have used his work travel as an excuse to have an open relationship. A total slap in the face to Grimes after having his baby. Friendly reminder that most wealthy men are low-value males who treat women as sex objects and incubators.
Let's see. I'm going through Gnosis right now, and apparently it's just shit posts. It's really unfunny shit posts.
Really?
Yeah. I think honestly, I think the most straightforward flare discussion is probably the most interesting one, because then we can participate in the conversation as well.
Wait, which one? Which one?
Discussion.
Oh, literally. The funny thing is, you see this one right here? I saw there was a post from them earlier. A nanobot picks up a lazy sperm and inseminates an egg. They were literally talking about how it's really weird that male scientists have created a way for sperm to rape eggs, and I'm like, I feel like you're like literally those are the words they use. They said, I feel like it's disgusting and a sign of men that male scientists have created a way for sperm to rape eggs.
What the no? It will just help, struggling couples who want children to have children. What the fuck? It's not that deep.
Yes.
It's not that deep.
It literally isn't.
It's man, I feel like that's the most wholesome example of a fucking nanobot. It's helping a little sperm dude get some action. What the fuck?
Literally, it's called a lazy sperm. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, it's the term for it. Lazy sperm. It needs the help. Let's see. Cockholm syndrome. That sounds interesting. Cockholm syndrome. Let me see what that's going on there.
Let's see. This sub is for women by women exclusively. So I'm sorry, Poe, but you're actually not allowed to even read these.
I am not. No, literally. If they knew what my account was, I'd be banned preemptively.
Yeah, don't leak it.
Oh my god. Like this subreddit is just it's just like that, you know? It's full of complaints in general, and they don't have look right here, it says I'm relapsing into pick-me-dom. I know this is stupid. Like basically they how do I put this? They lack understanding of their own choices. Oh, see, this is what I was showing you before. Basically, this is a forum of women to talk about dating, and they literally think female dating strategy is toxic and insane.
No, Yeah. It's clearly toxic and insane.
Like, because all they don't actually talk about, they don't actually have any really good dating strategies. Because like, there's like a nugget of gold inside like a mountain of shit. You know?
Yeah, I just feel like it's a I don't know, it's just a bunch of sad and lonely women, you
Okay.
know, instead of like helping each other out, they're just, you know, pulling each other. They're helping each other get more into despair.
Okay. Okay.
This is the
Citrus,
worst
I mean,
coping mechanism I've seen.
Scott, if you had to give a woman like who was struggling with finding a date, like like advice, what would it be? What would your strategy be?
Not go to online forums
Yes, you're not
for
look,
life advice.
like if you want to actually date and like for real, you don't want to go to online forums for that.
No, you don't. It's just it's completely fine wanting to have a sense of community, and everyone wants to have someone to relate to, right?
Okay.
It's
However,
natural,
one
but
second.
this
I will
is
give incels some advice right now though. Incels, if you're listening to this, and considering I've made a poll and I know a lot of my followers are kind of stuck in the Virgin Valley, let me help you out here. Okay. So, step 1. If you want to, I don't care if you don't want to date, if you just want to have sex, take 6 to 8 months, do nothing but work out, gain weight so you can build muscle. Don't just like run and get skinny. Work out, build muscle, make sure your teeth are clean, make sure your breath doesn't smell, make sure you have a haircut that frames your face well, make sure you know how to take good pictures, make sure you got good clothes. Drop some money on clothes. Literally, that drop some money on good clothes, not just like regular things you wore when you were in high school. Good clothes. Second topic, learn how to not be a better you. Let me put it this way. I'm not saying you suck as you are. I'm just saying that you can always be better. Be more confident. Even if you don't feel it, be it. Fake it till you make it. Understand that the entirety of your life is based on how confident you feel. If you do not feel confident, you cannot get anywhere. That is the first step to doing anything, feeling confident that you can accomplish it. Let's see. Step 3. Don't be a pussy. That's literally don't be a pussy.
Straight up. You know what? This is like advice I can, you know, apply to everyone regardless of context too.
Yeah,
It's
Step 4, get on OkCupid and Tinder with all these tips and swipe like your life depends on it. Put aside like $15-$20 to get unlimited swipes and just go crazy. Just go crazy. And whoever catches the bait first, be interesting enough that you can get like one date and then a smash and grab, and then just, you know, you're good. You're no longer a virgin. And I mean, if you want to date, that's not my problem. I don't really care about after that. That's on you. But yeah, for just that, yeah, that's my advice.
All right.
Do you have any opinions on that?
Yeah, I wouldn't waste money on Tinder because it's a garbage fucking app that's just gonna lead to hedonism. But you know what?
I'm just saying if you don't, it's just if you don't want to be a virgin. After that is
yeah, I like the confident speech though. It's I highly endorse that. If I were to give advice, both to I guess incels and femcels, because you know what, they are you know, it's same but different. It's completely normal to want to have a sense of community, but you should be careful of these echo chambers, and you should be careful to notice toxic patterns that instead of these people, you know, helping each other, what they're doing is that they're bickering and they're putting blame on completely unrelated people because it has, you know, a tiny bit of correlation.
True.
And it just makes them more miserable.
Also, here we go. I'm inviting a Citrus Master to speak with us real quick. He's a mod on the Discord. Let's see. Here we go. Hey, Citrus, what's up? Citrus, you there? Bro, I just told you to... You don't even have your mic on. This is terrible. You're making me look bad. I invited you here, and you're not even saying a word. This is disgusting, Citrus Master. How dare you?
Oh, microphone check.
Oh my god, dude, what's with your microphone? Anyway, okay. So
Echo chamber.
all I'm gonna tell you, literally, like, if you're trying to date, all you gotta do is be interesting. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Just talk to girls, make them laugh, not make them cry, but if you can make them feel something, like, yeah, they'll be bound to remember you, and that's your step
Man,
in there.
I love funny people.
Mm.
Fun
It's
fact.
a burden. It's a burden. It's
Yeah,
a burden.
you know what? If you're a funny man, you will. You don't even have to look, conveniently attractive.
You really
or
don't. You could
conventionally
look like a
attractive. No,
you could look like a midget Michael Clark Duncan and still be okay.
like I've dated like mid to below average men because they were like really fucking hilarious
Or interesting.
or interesting, or they
Yeah.
had like the same interests
Yeah.
as me. I guess
it's not that I'm not gonna say it's not that hard, guys, but it's not a mountain. It's a hill. It's a hill you have to get over. You're not climbing Everest. You're just going across town.
yeah. Exactly.
Just make sure your stamina is good, because then you'll end up collapsing across town and you'll look embarrassed and feel embarrassed, and then your confidence is shot forever. That was
all right. Well,
that was a reference to sex, but
I guess Citrus Master is struggling.
Yeah, he is struggling. This man he came in and was silent.
That's no issue. Let's see. I feel like you should actually go to. I think the best and straightforward flair is the discussion one, because then we can also participate in the conversation. And
oh wait, no. If I participate, they will see where I have posted before and ban me.
Oh, I meant
Yes.
like not literally, but
Oh, okay. Discussion. Let's see. Cockholm syndrome. Still find that's a funny phrase. Cockholm. Like, I'm gonna give it to you, women. The women of this subreddit, they did not do a bad job in designing their subreddit. I can understand why women get sucked in here.
Yeah, it's very clean and nice looking.
Oh my god. Okay, look. Here's this one. As a high value man. Okay, the thing about high value men to female dating strategy, it's just men that they tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
Has a high value man ever said something super low value that made you look at them differently? So my ex was bleh, but his dad was amazing. So you wanted to fuck his dad. Okay, we get it.
Okay.
His dad was seriously a second father to me, and he really lived a good, wholesome life. He peacefully co-parents with his ex-wife. He's remarried with 3 boys, has an amazing job, funny, playful, extroverted, and amazing with kids. If I'm being honest, a big reason I didn't want to break up with my ex is out of hope he could be the type of man his dad is. Just an honest, generous family guy. We get it, you want to fuck his dad. But one time... Oh, I think the podcast just died for a minute. Apparently we got disconnected.
Oh.
That was weird. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, we're back. Are we back, guys? Are you guys there? Are we back? I think we're back. Let me just ask them a quick question. Are we back?
People are writing F in chat.
Oh dang, I guess we got disconnected somehow. What happened? Are we not back, guys? What is with the F's in chat, guys? It says we're connected.
Okay.
Okay,
it
good.
Looks like we're back.
Thank
We're back
you.
now.
Okay. Apparently YouTube was not receiving the video for a little bit. Anyway.
That's why you should switch over to Twitch, because I've never had this experience before.
I've had that experience with Twitch. I'm not gonna lie. It was very
I guess it's
odd.
I guess it's a streaming thing.
Okay. So let's see what other ones. Okay. There's the Elon. Elon must have had an open relationship. Okay. Online dating as a child-free woman can be an abusive and traumatic experience.
Okay. Let's see.
I am in my 30s. In the last 4 years, I have worked extremely hard to build my online business. By hard, I mean things like not eating to pay the piling up bills at bad times, not having days off, going above and beyond with difficult clients, etc.
What if she is a part of an MLM?
Oh, a multi-level marketing scheme? It sounds like it.
Online business.
After
It's
after I start a conversation with someone, inevitably the age question comes up and then they are shocked. Wow, you're that old? I thought you're in your 20s.
Oh,
Look,
I mean, isn't that a compliment?
Yeah, like literally. Okay, very ageist and sexist if you ask me, because I don't see anyone calling men in their 30s old. Go on Twitter or Tumblr or any social media with people in their 20s and they call men in their 30s old all the time.
Bro, I call my 28-year-old boyfriend old. Not even old. I don't think you should take offense if you're called old, because it may be a bit rude, but it was it's a fact.
Wait, look at this. Is that Brendan Fraser? Looks like young Brendan Fraser.
Oh, I have no fucking clue.
You don't know who Brendan Fraser is?
I have no clue.
The Mummy, Journey to the Center of the Earth, George of the Jungle.
Oh,
the greatest actor in the history of America.
I mean, you said George of the Jungle, and now it hit me. I don't know, dude. I'm not a consumer of media.
First of all, you don't have to be a consumer to appreciate the greatness that is Brendan Fraser. That man looks like an airbrush Brendan Fraser. Does he not look like... Chat, answer this question. Does he not look like Brendan Fraser? Like a very young, very airbrushed Brendan Fraser. I'm not high. I'm not high, right? This isn't just me.
No, I do not think 28 years old is too old. I'm just saying that you shouldn't take offense to be called too old.
Guys, is that not
inherently offensive?
Is that not Brendan Fraser's like what's the term for it? What's the term for what's the term for a son that you don't know you have, or a kid you don't know you have? Like a kid you had out of wedlock? Whatever. Like, I don't want to say bastard because I feel like it's kind of rude. Yeah, see, he does look like Brendan Fraser. I feel justified in my opinion. Anyway, let's see what else we got.
What are our thoughts on this culture of rushing into marriage? People always, I mean, I don't know, mistake me if I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Hasn't the Western world always kind of rushed into marriage?
I mean,
because my mom married really young too.
Look, for the last generation and a half, it's been like the opposite, like waiting till like you're in your 30s or sometimes even 40s to get married. So I wouldn't say the culture of rushing into marriage is the opposite.
Yeah, it is the opposite. It's just, I guess this is like a case of confirmation bias where you're seeing this one little incident where there is like a young couple who decided to marry after only like 6 months of dating. But
this is what I'm talking about right here. High value women can't become low value women. That's what a lot of the people on the sub believe.
But they absolutely can.
Yeah. How do you avoid turning into a low value woman when you're at a point where you want to start a family?
The thing is that you can you can change for the better, but you can also change for the worse. I don't think. Do people forget that sometimes? People constantly change. You're never like a consistent you, unfortunately enough.
See, here's the funny thing. I am 44, never married, and no kids. A lot of the women on this sub are like, a lot of them aren't older, but they're all the same. Like they're not dating currently. They're not or were never married. And it's just them, but like they're talking about, oh, these are how you find good men, but they don't have men.
I think I would trust a person who's never been divorced and has been married for 20 plus years more than I trust these women.
Like they're like, oh yeah, if you follow this advice, you'll find good men and you'll actually be happy. But they're not, because they're still on the subreddit and they're not married or not dating.
I agree with Goodnut. It is a hive mind, because what are our thoughts on X? There's no... I don't feel like there's any form of individualism here, or it's really rare.
Okay.
They're
So
feel like they're all carrying the same opinion.
look, see, how do you deal with gaining less interest in dating in men overall? That is what this sub actually does to women. It makes them not want to date or be interested in men at all.
Yeah, it's creating this despair among themselves.
Yeah.
They're making each other
Can you hear me?
miserable, and it's it's
Yes,
toxic.
there we go. Citrus
Are
Master
you
is finally with
there?
us. Yes, we can hear you. What did you want to say, Citrus? What's going on, Citrus?
All right, thank you, Citrus. Super fucking cool.
He always has so much to say. Just his opinions are just very valued because they bring so much to the podcast. Citrus, what did you?
My shit is like delaying. I can't hear everything very well right now. Hold on.
Okay, then just give it. Well, then
I think it's just the fact that I live in the Pacific.
Wait, where do you live exactly? Always have so much to say. His opinions are just very valued because they bring so much more. Citrus, I can hear myself on the thing. Mute the. Oh my god, bro. Oh,
I like this man's chaotic energy.
Citrus, I'm gonna have to mute you because I'm hearing myself on your thing.
Hawaii, bro.
Huh? You're in Hawaii. Why do we have so many Hawaiians in this server? One is more than enough. Hey guys, sorry for the sudden cutoff there at the end of the episode. For some reason there was a technical issue and the entire stream just crashed. Hopefully you'll be there next week for our upcoming episode. We're going to be doing a live read of My Immortal. If you don't know what that is, good for you. You get to experience it for the first time. Thanks for watching.